The Indian 1 rupee coin is a fascinating piece of everyday currency that carries both historical and collectible significance. Minted in stainless steel with a unique hexagonal shape, this coin features the iconic Ashoka lion capital on one side, symbolizing India's strength and identity. The reverse displays 1 rupee along with wheat ears, representing growth and prosperity. Although commonly found, not all 1995 coins are order en ak or veryeruikratkoi. Variations in mint marks and rare minting errors can increase their appeal among collectors. While most of these coins hold only face value, certain rare types may attract higher interest in the numismatic market. For collectors and beginners alike, this coin serves as a reminder that even the simplest currency can hold hidden stories and potential value. The Indian 1 rupee coin comes from an important period in India's economic history. During the 1990s, India was going through major economic changes, and coins like this were produced in large numbers for everyday use. This coin was minted in different locations, including Mumbai, Kolkata, and Hyderabad, each identified by small mint marks. These tiny details are often ignored by the public, but for collectors, they make a big difference. The shift to stainless steel also made the coin more durable and cost-effective compared to older materials. Over time, millions of these coins circulated across the country, becoming a part of daily life. Today, while most remain common, certain variations from this era have started gaining attention among collectors. When it comes to value, the Indian 1 rupee coin becomes truly interesting. While most of these coins are very common, a few rare features can make a big difference. The first thing to check is the mint mark. A small diamond, star, or no mark at all tells you where the coin was made, and some versions are harder to find than others. Another important factor is error coins. Misprints, off-center designs, or unusual shapes can attract serious collectors. These rare mistakes are not easy to find, which increases their demand. Condition also matters. A clean, well-preserved coin is always more valuable than a worn-out one. So even though most coins are worth very little, a rare variation could turn an orbe yeruche en yeruikratkoi coin into something special. If you want to evaluate your Indian 1 rupee coin like a pro, start with a careful inspection. First, check the mint mark just below the year. A small symbol like a diamond, star, or no mark can reveal where the coin was minted. Next, look closely at the condition. A coin with sharp details, clean surface, and minimal scratches is always more desirable. Avoid cleaning the coin, as it can reduce its value. Now examine for errors. Look for off-center designs, double prints, or unusual shapes. These are rare and highly collectible. Finally, compare your coin with online references or collector guides to understand its rarity. With just a little attention to detail, you can quickly tell if your coin is ordinary or something special. In the end, the Indian 1 rupee coin proves one important thing. Not every valuable coin looks rare at first glance. Most of these coins are still very common and only worth their face value, but the real opportunity lies in the small details that people usually ignore. A tiny mint mark, a slight error, or an unusually well-preserved condition can completely change how collectors see your coin. This is what separates an orbe yeruche en yeruikratkoi coin from a collectible piece. For beginners, the best approach is simple: never ignore old coins. Keep them safe, avoid cleaning them, and always check for unique features before spending them. Over time, even small discoveries can build a valuable collection. For serious collectors, patience is key. The coin market changes, and coins that seem common today can become desirable in the future as availability decreases. Knowledge, research, and attention to detail are your biggest tools, so next time you come across a 1 rupee coin like this, don't just spend it. Take a closer look, because sometimes the smallest varyeshcha hold the biggest surprises. If you have an Indian 1 rupee coin, don't rush to spend it. Take a moment, observe it closely, and compare it with known variations. Many people ignore these small details, and that's exactly why valuable coins often go unnoticed. Coin collecting is not just about money, it's about awareness, patience, and knowledge. The more you learn, the more chances you have to spot something rare before anyone else. Even a simple habit of checking your coins can lead to surprising discoveries over time. And remember, every rare coin once looked orbe yeruche en yeruikratkoi to someone. The difference is, a collector noticed it, so start paying attention today. Build your understanding, keep your coins safe, and never underestimate what you already have. Because your next N-Kratkoy de Yeren coin might not be ordinary at all. The Indian 1 rupee coin may look ordinary, but its real worth depends on details many people ignore. Small differences like mint marks, rare errors, and better condition can make a noticeable impact. Most coins stay common, but a few become special over time. That is why careful observation matters. If you want to improve in coin collecting, focus on details, keep your coins safe, and always check before you spend. Because sometimes, hidden value is right in your hands. When it comes to understanding the true potential of the Indian 1 rupee coin, the difference between an average person and a serious collector lies in strategy, patience, and attention to detail. Most people treat coins as simple currency, something to use and forget. However, experienced collectors see something completely different. They see patterns, variations, and hidden opportunities that others overlook. The first and most important rule is observation. You must train your eyes to notice small details. A tiny mint mark below the year, a slight misalignment in the design, or even the sharpness of the edges can completely change how a coin is valued. These are not Kratkoy and Yeru differences. They are the very factors that define rarity in the world of coin collecting. Another critical factor is condition, often referred to as grading. A coin that has been preserved carefully, with minimal scratches and clear design details, will always stand out compared to a worn-out example. Even if two coins are from the same year and mint, their value can be significantly different based on condition alone. This is why professional collectors handle coins with extreme care, often using gloves and protective holders to prevent damage. Equally important is the concept of rarity versus demand. Not every old coin becomes valuable, and not every rare coin is in high demand. The true value lies where rarity meets collector interest. For the 1995 1 rupee coin, most pieces are common due to large production numbers. However, specific variations, mint errors, or unusually well-preserved coins can attract attention in niche collector markets. Research plays a powerful role in this process. Today, information is more accessible than ever. By comparing your coin with verified images, auction listings, and collector discussions, you can build a clearer understanding of what you actually have. This step alone can prevent you from falling for exaggerated claims or unrealistic prices that are often seen online. One mistake beginners often make is cleaning their coins. It may seem logical to make a coin look shiny and new, but in reality, cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its value significantly. Collectors prefer original surfaces, even if they show signs of age. Authenticity is far more important than artificial appearance. Storage is another area that should not be ignored. Coins should be kept in a dry, environment, away from moisture and direct handling. Simple protective sleeves or coin holders can make a big difference in preserving long-term condition. Over time, proper storage can turn an average coin into a well-preserved collectible. Patience is what separates short-term thinking from long-term success. Coin collecting is not a quick profit activity. It is a gradual process of learning, observing, and improving. Coins that seem common today may become harder to find in better condition years later. As availability decreases, collector interest can increase, and that is when value begins to shift. It is also important to develop a focused approach. Instead of randomly collecting coins, serious collectors often specialize in specific years, designs, or mint variations. This focused knowledge allows them to recognize rare pieces faster and make better decisions. Even with a simple coin like the 1995 1 rupee, developing expertise can reveal opportunities that others miss. Finally, mindset matters. If you start looking at coins with curiosity instead of habit, everything changes. Every coin becomes a question: where was it made, how was it used, and does it have something unique? This mindset transforms Kratkoy objects into subjects of discovery. In conclusion, the Indian 1 rupee coin from 1995 is not just a piece of metal, it is a starting point. A starting point for learning, for observing, and for entering the world of coin collecting with a sharper perspective. Whether your coin turns out to be common or slightly rare, the real value lies in the knowledge you gain along the way. Because in the end, coins do not just hold monetary value. They hold information, history, and opportunities, but only for those who are willing to look closely enough. This difference in perspective is what separates a casual user from a serious observer. A casual user sees only what is obvious, the number 1 and its spending power. But a careful observer sees layers beyond that. They see the design, the minting process, the variations, and the subtle differences that most people overlook without even realizing it. And this is where the journey truly begins, because coin collecting is not about randomly gathering coins. It is about building awareness. It is about training your eyes and your mind to notice patterns that others ignore. The more you observe, the more you begin to understand that even a small coin like this carries multiple dimensions: economic, historical, and collectible. Take a moment and think about its journey. This coin was minted in 1995, produced in large numbers, and distributed across a vast country. It passed through countless hands, markets, shops, transport systems, daily life exchanges. Every scratch, every mark, every slight wear tells a silent story of where it has been. And yet among millions of similar coins, a few stand apart, not because they look dramatically different, but because of small, almost invisible details. A mint mark placed slightly differently, a minor error during production, a coin that remained preserved while others were worn down. These are the details that transform an ordinary coin into something collectors begin to notice. But here is the reality that many people misunderstand. Not every old coin becomes valuable. Time alone does not create rarity. Rarity is created by a combination of factors: limited variations, collector demand, and condition. Without these, a coin may remain common no matter how old it is. This is why knowledge becomes your strongest tool. In today's world, information is easily available, but not everyone uses it correctly. Some people see high prices online and assume every similar coin holds the same value. Others ignore coins completely, thinking they are all the same. Both approaches miss the truth. The truth lies in balance. A smart collector does not get carried away by hype and does not ignore potential either. Instead, they verify, compare, and understand. They take time to learn about mint marks, study real examples, and observe market behavior. Over time, this approach builds confidence, and with confidence comes better decisions. Another important aspect is patience. Nothing in coin collecting happens instantly. Value does not appear overnight, and rare discoveries are not guaranteed. But what grows steadily is your understanding. And with that understanding, your chances of finding something meaningful increase. Even if your 1995 coin turns out to be common, it still plays an important role. It becomes your starting point. It teaches you how to observe, how to compare, and how to think like a collector. And that skill is far more valuable than a single coin, because once you develop that mindset, every coin you see in the future becomes an opportunity. You begin to slow down. Instead of spending coins immediately, you check them. Instead of ignoring details, you focus on them. And gradually, what once seemed like a simple habit turns into a skill, and that skill is what leads to real discoveries. It is also important to understand that coin collecting is not only about financial value. For many collectors, the real reward is the connection to history. Holding a coin from a different time, imagining its journey, and understanding its background creates a deeper appreciation. In that sense, every coin holds value not always in money, but in meaning, and for those who continue this journey, something interesting happens. Over time, you stop chasing value and start recognizing it naturally, without effort, without pressure, because you have trained yourself to see what others don't. So as we come to the end of this exploration, the question is not whether your coin is valuable or not. The real question is, how do you choose to see it, as just a coin or as an opportunity to learn, observe, and discover something more? Because in the world of coin collecting, the biggest difference is not the coin itself. It is the mindset of the person holding as we slowly arrive at the final moments of this incredible journey. One thing becomes undeniably clear. The story of the Indian 1 rupee coin is far greater than anyone could ever imagine at first glance. What once appeared to be nothing more than a simple piece of metal now reveals itself as a silent witness to time, history, and human movement. This transformation in understanding is not accidental. It is the result of attention, patience, and curiosity, three qualities that turn ordinary people into true observers of the world. For decades, coins like this have existed quietly in the background of everyday life. They pass through countless hands without ever being noticed. They are exchanged in busy markets, dropped into jars, forgotten in drawers, and sometimes even lost forever. To the majority of people, Their existence begins and ends with their numerical value. But that perspective, while common, is incredibly limited, because the truth is this coin has lived a life. From the moment it was created in a mint, it began a journey that no human could fully track. Perfectly shaped, freshly stamped, and identical to thousands of others, it entered circulation with no identity of its own. Yet, the moment it left the mint, everything changed. Every exchange, every transaction, every movement added a new layer to its invisible story. Imagine the number of places it could have traveled. It may have been used in a crowded city market filled with noise and energy. It may have passed through the hands of a shopkeeper, a traveler, or a child buying something small but meaningful. It could have been part of moments of happiness, urgency, struggle, or routine. Each interaction, though small, contributes to the unseen narrative carried by this coin. And yet, despite all of this, it remains silent. This silence is what makes coins so fascinating. They do not tell their stories openly. They do not announce their importance. Instead, they wait for someone curious enough to notice them, someone patient enough to observe the smallest details, someone willing to ask questions that most people never think about. This is where the mindset begins to shift. A collector does not see a coin the same way others do. Where an ordinary person sees a 1 rupee coin, a collector sees layers of meaning. The year stamped on its surface becomes a doorway into the past. The design becomes a reflection of a specific era. Even the smallest marks, scratches, or variations begin to carry significance. This shift is powerful because it changes not only what you see, but how you think. You begin to realize that value is not always obvious. It is not always loud or attention-grabbing. Sometimes it is hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by those who are willing to look deeper. This idea extends far beyond coins. It becomes a way of understanding the world itself. The Indian 1 rupee coin becomes more than just currency. It becomes a symbol of awareness. It teaches you to slow down in a fast-moving world. It teaches you to observe instead of ignore. It reminds you that even the smallest objects can carry immense stories if you are willing to pay attention. And perhaps most importantly, it shows you that discovery does not always require something rare or expensive. Sometimes, it begins with something you already have in your hand. Think about that for a moment. How many coins have passed through your hands without you ever noticing them? How many potential stories were ignored simply because they seemed too ordinary? This realization is both simple and profound. It challenges the way we move through life, often too quickly, often without awareness. But the moment you stop and truly look, everything changes. You begin to notice details you once ignored. You begin to ask questions you never asked before. You begin to see patterns, variations, and possibilities. And slowly, without even realizing it, your perspective expands. This is the true power of collecting. It is not just about gathering objects. It is about developing a deeper connection with the world around you. It is about training your mind to see beyond the surface. It is about understanding that every object, no matter how small, has the potential to teach you something. And in this journey, the coin becomes more than an object. It becomes a guide. It quietly leads you toward curiosity. It encourages you to explore. It invites you to question what others take for granted. And in doing so, it transforms a simple activity into something meaningful and lasting.